Not all ascents are straight upward. Some must first go backward into the places where promises were first broken before they can truly go forward. The bridge of light stretches vast now, wide enough for nations. Yet Eliana and Simon walk near the edge, close to the One. His robe still bears the faint stain of Golgotha's dust. Around them, souls stream upward. Each face glows with the first taste of unearned forgiveness. But Eliana's steps slow. She feels it before she sees it, a pull, deep in her chest like roots tugging at soil long thought barren. She looks down through the translucent bridge. Below, no longer the ruined city, but something older, a garden. Not Eden restored, not yet. This is the garden as it was the morning after the first betrayal, dew still clinging to bruised leaves. The ground still scarred where the curse fell, the air still heavy with the memory of fig leaves hastily sown. And standing at the center, two figures. Adam, Eve. Not the mythic silhouettes of stained glass. Real. Flesh that once knew perfect communion. Now trembling with the weight of what they unleashed, Adam kneels before a small mound of earth where once stood the tree of life. Now only a stump, blackened, split by lightning that never came from heaven. Eve stands a few paces away, arms wrapped around herself, eyes fixed on the place where the serpent once spoke. Eliana's breath catches. "Why are we seeing this?" she whispers. The scarred hand tightens gently around hers. Because every wound in every heart began here. And every healing must return here first. To face what was lost before it can receive what was promised. Simon grips her other hand harder. His voice is rough, still carrying the gravel of old grief. "I blamed him for everything that happened after. But it started here, didn't it?" The One nods. "Sin entered through one man, death through one trespass, yet grace entered through one greater. The garden remembers both." Without another word, the bridge lowers, slowly, reverently, until their feet touch soft grass, still damp with morning. They stand now in the garden, time folds. Eliana feels the air change, thicker, sweeter, yet edged with sorrow. She hears rustling leaves, distant birdsong that sounds almost like weeping. Adam lifts his head. He sees them. Not with surprise, with recognition, as though he has waited millennia for this moment. "Children of the promise." His voice cracks like dry earth. "You walk where we fell." Eve turns. Her eyes, once bright with unbroken wonder, are rimmed with centuries of quiet regret. Yet when they meet Eliana's, something flickers. Hope. Fragile, but alive. "We hid," Eve says softly. When his voice walked in the cool of the day, we hid, and the hiding has never truly ended. Eliana steps forward, drawn, not by courage, but by something deeper. "I hid too," she confesses. "After they took my mother, after my father stopped believing, I hid my heart so deep even I couldn't find it. I told myself there was no voice left to answer." Adam rises slowly. His hands, calloused from tilling cursed ground, reach out, palms up. "We were given dominion, and we traded it for a bite of forbidden knowing. Every tear since has watered this soil, every war, every empty cradle, every unanswered prayer." He looks at the scarred one standing silent beside them. "But you came back to this very ground. You sweat blood where we sweated shame. You prayed where we hid." The air shimmers. Suddenly the garden changes. The blackened stump begins to pulse, faint at first, then stronger. Green shoots force through the crack, vines curl upward, thick, strong, bearing leaves the color of living emerald. A single blossom opens at the top, white, radiant, shaped like a cross. Made of petals, from its center drips, not sap, but blood, not ordinary blood. It falls to the earth, drop by drop, and wherever it touches, life erupts. Dead grass turns lush, thorns wither into roses. The ground itself sighs, as though it has waited eons to be forgiven. Eve falls to her knees before the blooming tree. "Lord," she breathes, "is this the seed we crushed?" The one who was silent now speaks. "This is the seed that was crushed, so the garden could live again. The first Adam brought death, The last Adam brought life. He steps to the tree, places his pierced hand against the trunk. The moment skin meets wood, the entire garden trembles. Light explodes, not blinding, but warm, saturating, healing. Eliana feels it enter her, like liquid fire that does not burn, but mends. Memories rise unbidden. Her mother's last whisper, her brother's final smile, the night she cursed the sky. Each one lifts, not erased, but transformed. The pain remains part of the story, but now it carries glory. Simon gasps. He looks at his own hands, once shaking with drink, now steady, glowing faintly. "I feel clean," he whispers. Adam and Eve rise together. They walk to the foot of the blooming tree. Adam places his hand over the scar on the Savior's side. Eve touches the nail print in his palm. Tears fall, tears that have waited since the beginning. "Thank you," Adam says, "for not leaving the garden to rot." Eve's voice is barely audible, for making a way back home. The one smiles, the smile that split death open. "Go," he says. "The way is open. The tree bears fruit again. Eat and live." He reaches up, plucks a single fruit, golden, perfect, pulsing with inner light. He places it in Adam's hand, then another in Eve's. They eat. And in that instant, the garden explodes into full restoration. Birds flood the air with song, rivers burst from dry beds. The tree of life towers now, its branches stretching to the horizon, fruit heavy and abundant. But more than that, the curse lifts, not just here, everywhere. Eliana feels it ripple outward, through time, through bloodlines, through every broken place she has ever known. Her mother's grave, somewhere far below, bursts open with lilies. Her brother's laughter echoes again, not in memory, but in promise. Simon falls to his knees, laughing and weeping at once. "I was wrong," he cries. "There was always a way back." Eliana looks up at the Savior. How far does this healing go? He turns his gaze to the endless bridge above, now crowded with souls ascending, faces shining brighter with every step. To the last name, to the last tear, to the last echo of the first fall. He looks back at her, and it begins with you saying yes again. Eliana exhales, long, trembling. "Yes," she says. The word ignites something final. The garden folds upward, merging with the bridge, until earth and heaven are no longer separate. Adam and Eve walk ahead, hand in hand, leading the way home. Eliana and Simon follow, behind them, countless others, all drawn by the same blood, all healed by the same tree, all singing the same song. If the garden just whispered your name, if the curse you thought permanent just cracked under the weight of grace, if you feel the first fruit of forever ripening in your chest, then like this video, let the healing echo louder. Subscribe to Heavenly Faith Echoes, because the gates are swinging wide and the banquet is waiting. Comment one word below. Restored. If something inside you just came back to life, the tree is bearing fruit again, and it has your name on every leaf.